So, welcome everybody. My name is Julie McMurray, and I am so happy that you've joined us tonight for the Alzheimer's Community Forum. And I am going to introduce City Manager Ed Augustus. He will be doing our welcome.
Well, thank you, Julie, and good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Alzheimer's Association's virtual community forum for the city of Worcester. And thank you all for participating. As Julie mentioned, I'm City Manager Ed Augustus, and I'm honored to participate in tonight's important conversation about Alzheimer's and its impact on the residents of Worcester. I want to thank the Alzheimer's Association for holding this event, as well as Patty Hainsworth and the Dementia Friendly Worcester Action Committee for their support and for their ongoing efforts to engage seniors living with dementia through a variety of programs. As we continue to deal with the COVID-19 pandemic, those efforts are needed now more than ever. When we talk about Alzheimer's, it's important to understand the statistics, and they're staggering. More than 6 million Americans are living with Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's is the 6th leading cause of death in the United States. Nearly 2/3 of those dealing with Alzheimer's, 3.8 million, are women. Older Black Americans are 2 times as likely to have Alzheimer's or other dementia than whites. And yet, 1/3 of them believe discrimination would be a barrier to receiving Alzheimer's care. Older Black and Hispanic Americans are more likely to have Alzheimer's and other dementia and are more likely not to be diagnosed than white Americans. In the United States, dementia deaths have increased 16% during the pandemic. And in 2021, Alzheimer's and other dementia will cost the nation $355 billion. And by 2050, those costs are expected to rise to more than $1.1 trillion. In 2020, 130,000 people were living with Alzheimer's in Massachusetts, and there were an estimated 281,000 caregivers. The Alzheimer's Community Forum is an opportunity for everyone to learn more about Alzheimer's and to better understand the needs of the community. So again, I'm so grateful for everybody who came together to put this forum on, and very grateful for all the folks who have come tonight to learn more, to participate, and to try to come together as a community to help each other and support each other with this devastating disease. So now I'm going to turn it back to Julie, and Julie's the Senior Manager of the Central Regional Office of the Alzheimer's Association of Massachusetts and New Hampshire chapter, and she's going to discuss the goals of tonight's community forum. Julie?
Thank you so much, City Manager Ed Augustus, for joining us tonight and offering the welcome. We appreciate your support of Dementia Friendly Worcester and the Alzheimer's Association. So the goals of the Alzheimer's Community Forum is really to, it's an opportunity for education, but the end goal is to understand the needs and the experiences of the attendees and the community at large. The Community Forum was developed in collaboration with Dementia Friendly Worcester and the Dementia Friendly Worcester Action Team. With me tonight is Patty Hainsworth, Operations Director, the Worcester Senior Center, and Chair of the Dementia Friendly Action Committee. I'd like Patty to introduce herself and to discuss the goals of the Dementia Friendly Worcester and their accomplishments so far. Patty?
Thanks, Julie. As Julie said, I'm Patty Hainsworth, the Operations Director at the Senior Center. I also facilitate the Dementia Friendly Worcester initiative. It's an initiative that brings diverse sections of the community together to increase awareness and education and to help Worcester become more inclusive and supportive of people living with dementia. Our action team is made up of a diverse group of people who offer input from their own unique perspectives. Many who have become dementia friends and champions, which is a global effort to help the community understand what dementia is and how it affects people through informational sessions. And now our team is able to go out into the community and offer our own sessions. After the kickoff that declared Worcester a dementia-friendly community about 3 years ago, we started by focusing on connecting with businesses by offering informational packets on how they can best serve those impacted by dementia. We currently offer a monthly memory cafe initiated by Elder Services of Worcester. For those who are unfamiliar, it's a social gathering for people with memory challenges and their care partners. The Senior Center also offers a respite program. Both of these programs are currently on Zoom, but previously were being held at the Senior Center. And also pre-pandemic, Fallon Health was also offering a support group for caregivers, and we hope to continue to be able to do that when we return. We really appreciate being able to collaborate with Julie and the Alzheimer's Association. Julie was a great help when we started, and we benefited from the Alzheimer's Association's educational programs to educate organizations and individuals in the community, as well as various city departments, including the library and the DPW. We look forward to continuing working with Julie and the Alzheimer's Association, and we thank her for bringing us in to collaborate and support this program. The Dementia Friendly Worcester welcomes new members, and one of our goals is to build on our action team. And we meet the first Wednesday of the month, and you can learn more about us by coming to a meeting or checking out our website. And we also offer a monthly newsletter with information about upcoming events, Dementia Friends information, Dementia Friendly America, and memory cafes. The goal of Dementia Friendly Worcester has been and continues to be about awareness and education, and we look forward to continuing this effort. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Patty. I am now going to introduce my colleague, Katherine Leary. She is the walk manager for the Worcester County Walk to End Alzheimer's, and you will also hear from Katherine a little bit later about the upcoming Walk to End Alzheimer's in October. Katherine?
Hi, thank you, Julie. Welcome and thanks for being here this evening. We're thrilled to have everybody join us for this incredible community forum. As Julie mentioned, my name is Katherine Leary. I am the walk manager for the Worcester County Walk. I will be speaking a little bit more about how you could potentially get involved with our event that is happening on October 3rd here in Worcester. We look forward to having you join us tonight. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Katherine. I just want to remind everybody that we will be doing a drawing for raffle prizes at the end, so make sure you stay for the entire forum. So the purpose of tonight's community forum is to talk about the impact of Alzheimer's in the community. We will start by sharing some basic information and getting everybody on the same page with the terminology we use to describe Alzheimer's and dementia. But then we want to hear about your experience with the disease and especially how this disease is affecting the community, where you live, work, play, and pray. One of our goals as an organization is to reach more people nationwide with help and support. You will hear today about the staggering numbers of people who have the disease today and how those numbers are projected to rise. If we're ever able to help people through this challenge, we need your input to help us better understand the condition in your community and to come up with solutions to reach more people. My colleague, Jen Hoadley, is participating tonight. Jen is the regional manager for the Southeastern Regional Office, and she is going to be helping me manage its chat box. We want this to be a good experience for everyone. We will be using our cameras and microphones to have a conversation tonight. Feel free to move your mouse around. At the bottom of your screen, you will notice a microphone and camera. When the line or red line is through it, it is turned off. We can't hear or see you. You click it and the red line goes away, then we can see and hear you. Please place yourself on mute, but then later on you will have an opportunity to speak and unmute your microphone. Certainly we want this to be an engaging conversation and discussion. So if you'd like to answer a question, Please unmute yourself. Also know that this is being recorded and it's for internal use only. So let's talk about questions. If you have a general question today, please use the chat button at the bottom of the screen and type in your question. My colleague Jen may periodically get those answered for you. I will be also asking questions today. Please unmute yourself if you'd like to answer a question. The vision of the Alzheimer's Association is a world without Alzheimer's and all other dementia. The Alzheimer's Association leads the way to end Alzheimer's and all other dementia by accelerating global research, driving risk reduction and early detection, and maximizing quality care and support. The all other dementia was recently added to this vision statement, and that's one of the biggest points of confusion that we hear. What is dementia and what is Alzheimer's disease? So we're going to talk about that. I will now show a video highlighting the most current facts and figures that were recently released. So hopefully you were able to see that video, but it did review the facts and figures that City Manager Ed Augustus mentioned at the beginning. With more than 6 million Americans are living with Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's is the sixth leading cause of death in the United States, and nearly two-thirds of those with Alzheimer's, 3.8 million, are women. Also, older Black Americans are 2 times as likely to have Alzheimer's or other dementia than whites, yet 1/3 of them believe discrimination would be a barrier to receiving Alzheimer's care. Older Black and Hispanic Americans are more likely to have Alzheimer's and other dementia, and more likely not to be diagnosed than white Americans. In the United States, dementia deaths have increased 16% during the pandemic. And in 2021, Alzheimer's and other dementia will cost the nation over $355 billion. And these costs could rise to more than $1.1 trillion by 2050. In 2020, 130,000 people were living with Alzheimer's in Massachusetts, and there were an estimated 281 caregivers. So if you're like me, those numbers are staggering, and it's hard to imagine that over 6 million Americans are estimated to have dementia today, and that number will double in the next 30 years. So what is dementia? What is Alzheimer's? The simplest way to explain is that dementia is an umbrella term we use to describe a group of symptoms related to cognitive decline. Symptoms of dementia include difficulties with memory, language, problem solving, and other cognitive skills that affect a person's ability to perform routine and everyday activities. Alzheimer's disease is the most common form of dementia and the one we hear about the most, but other causes of dementia include vascular dementia, previously called multi-infarct or post-stroke dementia, or even hardening of the arteries. It can occur in people who have had many strokes. Some estimates say that as many as 50% of people with Alzheimer's also show signs of infarcts or mini strokes. Dementia with Lewy bodies. Some symptoms of Alzheimer's occur. However, early symptoms can also include sleep disturbances, visual impairments, visual hallucinations, gait problems, and Parkinsonian movement features. Frontal temporal lobar degeneration, FTLD, includes primary progressive aphasia, Pick's disease, and several other dementias affecting the frontal temporal lobe. Unlike Alzheimer's, memory is typically not affected first. Instead, typical early symptoms include marked changes in personality and behavior, or difficulty with producing or comprehending language. There are some other conditions like Parkinson's disease that can cause dementia, and some situations are reversible, like hormone and vitamin deficiencies. That's why getting a diagnosis is so important. When we learn more about dementia, it's common for people to wonder if they are at risk. So let's talk about the risk factors. The known risk factors for Alzheimer's are age. Most people who develop the disease are over age 65. Family history. Another strong risk factor is family history. Those who have a parent, brother, or sister with Alzheimer's are more likely to develop Alzheimer's disease. Hereditary. Scientists know genes are involved with Alzheimer's. 2 categories of genes influence whether a person develops the disease: risk genes and deterministic genes. Head injury. There is a link between head injury and future risk of dementia. Protect your brain by buckling your seatbelt, wearing your helmet when participating in sports, and fall-proofing your home. Learn more about traumatic brain injury. We know that there is a heart-head connection. Some of the strongest evidence links brain health to heart health. This connection makes sense because the brain is nourished by one of the body's richest networks of blood vessels, and the heart is responsible for pumping blood through the blood vessels to the brain. The risk for developing Alzheimer's or vascular dementia appears to be increased by many conditions that damage the heart and blood vessels. These include heart disease, diabetes, stroke, high blood pressure, and high cholesterol. Work with your doctor to monitor your heart health and treat any problems that arise. It is estimated that 1 in 3 seniors dies with Alzheimer's or another dementia. It's the 6th leading cause of death in the United States, 5th leading cause of death for those age 65 and older, and for women of any age. In addition to the main risk factors for the general population, Hispanics, African Americans, and women are at higher risk for Alzheimer's. Research shows that older Hispanics are about 1.5 times as likely as older whites to develop Alzheimer's and other dementias, while older African Americans are about twice as likely to develop the disease as older whites. The reason for these differences is not well understood, but researchers believe that the higher rates of vascular disease in these groups may also put them at greater risk for developing Alzheimer's disease. Let's look at the impact that the disease has on caregivers. People age 65 and older survive an average of 4 to 8 years after a diagnosis, yet some can live as long as 20 years. Individuals with Alzheimer's will spend an average of 40% of the time in the dementia's most severe stage. The long duration of the disease contributes significantly to the public health impact of Alzheimer's, the cost of the disease, and the burden on caregiving. New studies reveal the growing toll on Alzheimer's caregivers. In 2020, more than 11.2 million Americans provided an estimated 15.3 billion hours of unpaid care, valued at nearly $257 billion. In 2019, the lifetime cost of care for a person living with dementia was more than $373,000. Think about that. For most Americans, that's more than families spend on a college tuition or even a mortgage. So who are our Alzheimer's caregivers? Over half of primary caregivers take care of their parents. 1/4 of dementia caregivers are sandwich generation caregivers, taking care of both an aging parent and children. 2/3 of caregivers are women. 1 in 3 caregivers is age 65 and older. 41% of caregivers have a household income of $50,000 or less. 63% live with the care recipient in the community. Majority of Alzheimer's caregivers are women, experiencing higher levels of burden and stress. Almost 2/3 of Americans with Alzheimer's are women. Older African Americans and Hispanics are more likely on per capita basis than older Caucasians to have Alzheimer's. And in some of those families where culture dictates the caregiver, this disease has a disproportionate caregiving burden on women. Alzheimer's is a threat that's only going to get worse. It is important for our country to further its investment in Alzheimer's research, while also continuing to advance public policies and expand care and support programs to help people living with the disease as well as their caregivers. 2020 marked the 4th consecutive year that the total payments of caring for people with Alzheimer's and other dementias will exceed $250 billion. In 2020, the total national cost of caring for people with Alzheimer's and other dementias is projected to reach $305 billion. This figure does not include the nearly $244 billion in unpaid caregiving by family and friends. So I'd like to pause here. That's a lot of information on statistics about the disease itself, as well as the risk factors and the impact on our public health. I'd like to see if there are any questions in the chat box. Jen, are there any questions in the chat box?
Not yet.
Okay, all right. Thanks, Jen. There will be an opportunity, as we discussed earlier, about what you're experiencing. And I will rely on Jen. And when I ask a question, if Jen would just call on you so that you could answer it, that would be greatly appreciated. But before we get to the opportunity to share your experience, I'd like to provide you with information about how the Alzheimer's Association provides help and support. The Alzheimer's Association 24-hour, 7-day-a-week helpline is available around the clock, 365 days a year. Through this free service, specialists and master-level clinicians offer confidential support and information to provide people living with the disease, caregiver, families, and the public. Call the 24-hour, 7-day-a-week helpline day or night to speak confidentially with a master's level care consultant for decision-making support, crisis assistance, and education on issues families face every day. Learn about the symptoms of Alzheimer's and other dementias. Find out about local programs and services in your community. Get general information about legal, financial, and care decisions, as well as treatment options for managing symptoms. Receive help in your preferred language through our bilingual staff or translation service, which accommodates more than 200 languages. Access support through our TTY service if assistance is required via a teletype service. All Alzheimer's Association programs are now available online as we await the time that it is safe for us to get back into in-person programs. We have a variety of education programs that you can take on demand. And our ALS Navigator is a tremendous resource helping guide caregivers to answers by creating a personalized action plan and linking you to information, support, and local resources. You can also receive a personalized phone or virtual care consultation to help you design a plan by calling our 24-hour, 7-day-a-week helpline at 800-272-3900. There you can talk to a social worker about your family's unique needs and how to support the person you're caring for. Support groups offer an excellent opportunity to learn directly from experienced caregivers to gain support. Groups help caregivers work through their challenges and share coping strategies. A wealth of community-based resources available in your community, including long-term care and community-based services, and Alzheimer's Association programs and services can be found by visiting alz.org/CRF. For those of you who are interested in support but without a formal group, I'd encourage you to check out Alz Connected. The Alzheimer's Association does have a commitment to serve all communities. Inclusion is a core value of the Alzheimer's Association. As we've been reminded recently, systemic racial and social injustices permeates all aspects of society and are intertwined with the causes of health disparities for many of our minority communities. The Alzheimer's Association believes we must create a society in which people feel safe, cared for, and valued. So we will continue our work to include all communities and advance health equity. Please stay tuned for more information about next steps. And again, a reminder, if you need any support or information, please reach out to the Alzheimer's Association at alz.org/care or call the helpline 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at 800-272-3900, and we can connect you to resources available in your community as Deb Dow fully mentioned, elder services, certainly in this virtual world, memory cafes that are meeting virtually, but also other community resources. And finally, we invite you to join a nationwide movement to end Alzheimer's by starting a walk team for the Walk to End Alzheimer's. I invite my colleague, Katherine Leary, to come back to speak to you about the Worcester County Walk to End Alzheimer's on October 3rd. Katherine?
Hi again. Thanks again for being here this evening and those of you sharing your stories with us. We know this is incredibly personal and raw, so thank you for sharing your connection to the cause. As Julie mentioned, and I mentioned earlier, I am the walk manager for the Worcester County Walk. I'm the staff partner. We are a volunteer-driven group. We have over 53 volunteers on our planning committee, and I am here to support the volunteers on the committee to make this incredible event happen. The Worcester County Walk takes place on Sunday, October 3rd of this year. We are walking in 2021, and we do invite you to join us. We do have plans to move forward with hosting the walk in person this fall. Now, the health and safety of our participants, staff, and volunteers do remain our top priority as we make decisions about the event details that are going to be in our community, and we'll continue to offer options to participate online and in our neighborhoods. So with that being said, our registration for the walk is currently open. I did put a direct link in the group chat here. We do have a really cool incentive going on right now for registration and fundraising. So for the first 15 people starting, it was on March 30th, that are registered and have raised $150 will receive 2 mini golf tickets to the West End Creamery. We have about 5 tickets left. So we'll check tomorrow morning and see where people are at. But if you're compelled to join us this evening and start your fundraising, that is a little incentive that we have going on. Additionally, we are seeking volunteers for our committee. We have a number of volunteer opportunities. So if you're looking to get more involved with the organization, please let me know. And I think we have a couple of volunteers. I know Linda and Patrick are here tonight. Patrick, did you have anything you wanted to say about being a volunteer on the Walk Committee?
Hi, I'm Patrick Wimberly from Rockland Trust. I'm a volunteer on the Worcester County Walk to End Alzheimer's Committee supporting company engagement. It's been a great and meaningful experience for me working on the committee. Both my grandfather and grandmother had Alzheimer's. We lost my grandfather years ago, and unfortunately we lost my grandmother this past year. But I hope to help in the fight to end Alzheimer's and all other dementia so that others don't have to experience what we did, and to help the Alzheimer's Association provide the resources that they do, along with searching for a treatment and cure. My mom's involved too. Rockland Trust is also one of the sponsors for the Worcester County Walk to End Alzheimer's, but it's a great group to be involved in. If you're interested in getting involved or starting a team, you can reach out to either Katherine Leary or I, or you can visit the link that Katherine sent out in the chat.
Thanks, Patrick. And also just to note that all of these mission activities that we're sharing with you this evening and all the great work that the Alzheimer's Association is doing in the community is driven by our development activities, and one of those being the Walk to End Alzheimer's, which is the largest fundraiser for Alzheimer's care support and research. So this is a really important community event, and we do hope you'll join us. I'm also going to share in the chat our Facebook group. Feel free to check out that group. There's a lot of engagement there, and participants as well as volunteers who are part of that. Thank you again for allowing us the time this evening to talk about the walk. Back to you, Julie.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Katherine and Patrick, for sharing that information. Again, we'd like to thank you for attending tonight and helping support the million of Americans with Alzheimer's disease as we pursue a world without Alzheimer's disease and all other dementia. Thank you for sharing your stories, your challenges, and your frustrations. It is so important to hear from all of you who have been impacted by Alzheimer's and dementia. Just as a reminder, the Alzheimer's Association 24-hour, 7-day-a-week helpline is available around the clock, 365 days a year. Through this free service, specialists and master levels clinicians can offer confidential support and information to people living with the disease, their caregivers, families, and the public. The helpline is available all day, every day, and the gateway to accessing all the free programs and services that we offer. I'd like to end by saying thank you to City Manager Ed Augustus for participating tonight, offering the welcome, and for his support of Dementia Friendly Worcester and the Alzheimer's Association. Thank you to Patty Hainsworth and the Dementia Friendly Action Committee for supporting and promoting this event, and to my colleagues Katherine Leary and Jen Hoadley for participating tonight. And please spread the word about Alzheimer's disease, get involved with Dementia Friendly Worcester and our Walk to End Alzheimer's. And again, thank you all for being here tonight. All of your input is very much appreciated, and it starts the conversation that is needed. So we appreciate it. Be safe. Take care.